All right, and welcome to the longest running nonstop content in the history, the 16-year history, I should say, of the OMFL. Welcome to Press Pass Live. Thank you guys for tuning in today. A very special edition of Press Pass Live, a postseason delight, we could call it. And we just so happen to have both of our Super Bowl participants as our co-hosts today. Please welcome in Hude and Dwayne. Fellas, welcome to the show. Thank you for being on today.
Hey, what's up, man?
What's going on?
All right, we're going to work on these intros. I built you up. I built you. You got to hit that thing right out the park. I mean, I put it on a tee for you. You got to get it out of there. All right, let's just jump right into this thing. We've got so much that we want to cover. Let's take a look back at the playoffs for season 70. Man, what a playoff season it was. It was one of the best that I've ever been able to not only participate in, but watch here in the OMFL. Just some instant classic games, some games that probably should go in OMFL history. Hint, hint to our awards and history guru, Hude, that's here. Maybe we should take some of these videos that are on YouTube and like all-time great OMFL games. Maybe we should start a thread for that. All right, just popped into my head. But let's take a look back. Let's look at the wild card weekend. All right, give me your biggest takeaways after I cover these scores. Let's look at the Broncos. They fell to the Bengals 29-18. Man, those Bengals got red hot. We're going to continue to talk about them the rest of this night. My Cardinals fell to the Falcons 24-20 in an epic game. The Packers stunningly beat the Vikings 16-7. And then the Patriots fall to the Chargers 23-17. Those Chargers, again, another red hot team that got super hot as the season went on. So we're going to start with Dwayne. Give me your biggest takeaway or your biggest game from Wild Card Weekend.
Man, they were all, like you said, they were all good games. All of them. And like I said, the Broncos-Bengals score really don't do it justice. But the game that I guess surprised me the most was San Diego and New England. I'm not going to lie to you. And this no disrespect to anybody else in the AFC, especially not you, Hude. But I actually had Cincy penciled in to make a run this year. And like I said, him getting upset in the first round really shocked me. And like I said, that's the game that it sticks out to me. It just really shocked me. Like I said, I thought this was his year.
Hude, what stuck out to you? What's the game maybe or the one takeaway that came out to you for Wild Card Weekend?
I called the Chargers to go to the Super Bowl early in the season, so it wasn't a major shocker to me. I knew it was going to be close. Cardinals-Falcons, that's a toss-up. That's always a great game to watch. Same thing with Vikings-Packers. The thing that really surprised me, I didn't expect to beat the Broncos. And how I won, I thought he was going to blow me out, to be honest. I had no expectations of winning that game. But it really come down to rushing yards. He only had 3 rushing yards. And that's, I don't know. I can't explain it. That's just what happened, and I got lucky and came away with the W.
Yeah, we didn't have the opportunity. The playoffs got here so quickly and games started flying through. We didn't have an opportunity to go back and do like a playoff prediction show that we wanted to do. But, you know, I couldn't have went with the Bengals in that game just because, I mean, no one wanted to even win that division, and the Broncos were sitting at 12-4. I mean, you got the Bengals at a sub-500 team, and that one really, really shocked me. I think my one takeaway is the game that we didn't really cover a whole lot, but the Vikings and the Packers. This game really was all Vikings for the first half, and then right before halftime, I think it was a 7-3 game, something like that, 7-0 maybe. But right before halftime, Adams throws a pick six, take it back to the house, completely changed the momentum of this game. I mean, a complete 180. This game totally flipped around. After that, the Packers started getting pressure on Adams. They were sacking him left and right. I don't even know how many sacks they ended up with. Let's see, 1, 2, 5 sacks in the day, 3 of them from Matthews. They were putting him in some 3rd and long situations. They were picking him off. That pick six completely changed this game. It's one of those games you should go back and watch because the Vikings were completely in charge and then just came away and turned it around with the Packers getting that pick six. So there's a look at the wild card round, some really epic games. You should go back and watch those if you ever get time. That moves us into the divisional round. You got the Chargers falling to the Chiefs in a 19-7 victory for the Chiefs, a game that I think these teams played 3 times maybe. I didn't really know who was going to win that one. I knew it was going to be an epic battle between 2 teams. This one looks more like what I expected from their regular season matchup that they had late in the season, where both teams put up triple of what they were allowing throughout the season. The Bengals beat the Jaguars 31-20 to stay red hot. The Falcons up on the Cowboys 31-14, and then the Packers with a 16-15 victory. Another game that just took us out of left field. So, Hude, you're going to go first this time. Give me your biggest game or your biggest takeaway from the divisional round in the playoffs.
It's always hard to pick against Wayne. I thought he'd edge it out there and get that W. Playing Brady, it's like playing in a mirror. For anybody that watched that game, we did the exact same thing. I just, made an extra play or two. Dawson and Priest, you guys played a great game. It was super fun to watch. Really close. The Packers got the dub on that one. My surprise, like I said, I really thought San Diego was going to make it to the bowl this year. He had beat the Chiefs earlier in the season. What really stuck out to me the most, though, was the Chiefs. They lost 7-19, but the Chiefs had 7 turnovers in that game. I don't think I've ever seen an OMFL game with 7 turnovers. The Chiefs had 5. So, that just pops out at me. I thought the Chargers would slightly get this one, but the Chiefs took it away. So many turnovers.
11 turnovers in this game. Unbelievable. That might be a record here for the amount of turnovers, especially in a playoff game. D-Wayne, give me your biggest takeaway or your best game right here in the divisional round of the playoffs.
Well, I said, Hude said it. Chargers-Chiefs game was crazy to me. I watched it pretty much start to finish, and when you have I think 11 interception to 2 touchdown ratio, especially coming from 2 great players like them, it was shocking. But watching the Packers and Rams game, Priest converting on 4th and 20 on a Hail Mary pass to get in field goal range to win the game. That was just crazy, especially beating the number 1 seed in the NFC. That was just a crazy, like I said, epic game that went down. Neither coach should be too disappointed in that one. And like I said, Bengals and Jaguars. Hude shocks the world again. I've never voted against Hude myself. I sure haven't ever picked against him. But like I said, he shocked a lot of people, especially against Brady. Just a heck of a game.
Yeah, the Packers game, that's one of those plays that you just break your controller in half and come back again next season. Like, what do you do when you give up a Hail Mary pass like that? But I guess one could argue I didn't even expect the Packers to keep it that close. The Rams really struggled on offense. But my surprise has to be the game that you guys both hit up on, and that is the Bengals and the Jaguars. I mean, again, the Bengals were a 7-9 team, and they beat 2 12-4 teams. And these games weren't even close. I mean, they weren't complete blowouts, but we're not talking about 1 point, 2 point, 3 point victories like we've seen in the Rams and the Packers game or even in some of these other games that happened. This was pretty handedly all about the Bengals these first 2 weeks. And that is where I began to perk up a little. Spider sense is going off. Like, what is going on with the Cincinnati Bengals, where all of a sudden, they're just playing outstanding football? And it goes back to the rushing game, 3 yards for the Broncos, if I can spit it out, and less than 40 yards complete for the Jaguars. And that's what they're known for. They're known to just smash mouth, kick you in the teeth, and run the ball down your throat. And they could not do it. The Bengals were just playing out of their mind for this one. And that moves us to the conference championships. Packers and Falcons, Bengals and Chiefs. 2 teams I just did not expect to see in this, with the Packers and the Bengals, and then 2 teams that we all kind of seen had the opportunity to go all of the way. The Falcons beat the Packers 20-14 at home, and then the Bengals with a 22-21 victory over the Chiefs. And this game had a little bit of a controversy, and we could probably touch base on that. But we're going to start with you, Dwayne. What was your biggest game, your biggest moment maybe from your game? You can talk about that. What was your biggest takeaway from the conference championships?
Priest, in our game, Priest pretty much did the same thing he did against the Vikings. He had a pick a turnover, pick 6 against me that just changed momentum. And he almost got it. He came down pretty much the same way with the Rams. He just couldn't get the Hail Mary to fall for him this time. It was another game that just went crazy back and forth. Bengals and Chiefs, like I said, I think at this point we were all we weren't overlooking Houday anymore. We were not overlooking the Bengals. And I don't know what his guys did defensively, but he is shutting people down. He held the Chiefs to 97 yards on like 40% passing, 22 yards rushing. I'm actually, if you look at the stats, I'm really surprised that the game was that close. And the only thing I can see is maybe Dalton threw a few too many picks. But, man, his defense was just ungodly. And I don't know, maybe I need to steal his defensive coordinator. I don't know what it is, but it was he got hot and just got crazy right at the right time.
All right, Houday, your biggest takeaway, maybe your biggest moment for your game, maybe your favorite game to watch during the conference championships.
I think they were both great. The Packers fell 14-20 to the defending champ. No shame in that. Appreciate a great season, bud. Good job. Chiefs, Bengals, hey, another game. I didn't expect to win any of these games. The big takeaway for me, looking at the stats, I had 3 turnovers, but I held him to 22 yards rushing, and I really expected him to come in and pound me away. But it was a great game. It was an exciting game, and really, really close. I mean, he had it wrapped up, and I just got lucky and came back. But it was really exciting. It was a great game to watch.
This puts the Falcons in back-to-back playoff Super Bowl games, and so we're going to save the praise for him. 12-4 Broncos, 12-4 Jaguars, both rushing teams, both teams that can rush and pass the ball. And then the 13-3 Chiefs. That is who the Bengals have taken out here. He allowed 22 yards rushing to the Chiefs, a team that was known for hammering the pigskin. 9 of 21 for Palmer with 97 yards. Who the hell is this Bengals defense? Is this the Steelers? Is this the Steel Curtain? Where did they come from? This was a 7-9 team, for Pete's sake. My God, I just don't understand. I don't know what happened. But the Bengals are as hot as you could possibly be. And that sets us up for a game that if anyone said that they were expecting to see, you're a damn liar and you need to shut up. There is no way that we expected to see the Bengals, a 7-9 team, make this epic run that they made all the way to the Super Bowl to face the Falcons. And who would have known? The two hosts of Press Pass Live make it all of the way. They get in the Super Bowl game against each other. Both underdog guys. And I don't know if the Falcons can continue to play that, even though they made this epic comeback last year and run last year, their first Super Bowl victory. But clearly, the Bengals are the underdog here. Talk about your Super Bowl game here, fellas. Open platform. Tell me what happened. Talk this through.
Well,
you want it first, Houday?
Yeah, I'll take it. And let's just, pull the screens back for everybody. Wayne's $20 richer. No, but it didn't feel like the Super Bowl. You probably couldn't hear us, but we were in party chat. Me and Wayne played FIFA here together, just talking about nothing the whole time. It wasn't super intense. It wasn't, oh, I got to beat you. It wasn't anything like that. It was just a laid-back, relaxed game. And Wayne knows. He gets me talking on FIFA. I can't play. So, but he did a good job. It was a close game. Burfict came up with a big play for me, and after he ran back that touchdown for 6, I was content with losing at that point.
Well, Houday don't give himself enough credit for sure, because his defense actually he outdid me in every facet of the game nearly. He ate Ryan up the whole game. Except for a couple long runs, he stopped my running attack the whole game. the defense came up big for him, and like I said, his linebacker got as I was trying to run the clock out, caused a fumble, ran it all the way back to make it a 20-12 game. And it could have really went either way. If Dalton hadn't had a few passes sail on him, this could have been a whole different ball game. But like you said, it was a laid back, fun Super Bowl. And like I said, we just came out on top. We were the lucky ones today to come out on top.
Here's my key stats in this game. 9 sacks from both teams, 6 turnovers from both teams, 4 of them, though, from Andy Dalton, who played exceptionally well this whole entire playoff run. Matt Ryan is effective as always, 17 of 23 for 242. Here's one of the key stats. Up to this point, the Bengals have completely shut everyone's rushing game down, and then the Falcons finally broke through that. They get 100 yards rushing on the game. Julio Jones with 128 yards receiving on 7 receptions. I do have a question, though. We talked slightly about a little bit of controversy from that Chiefs and Bengals game. And the controversy surrounded around the fact that the Chiefs felt like there were too many throws to the tight end. He ended up with 7 throws. I'll give my personal opinion. I don't want to dig deep into this and be yucky. That's not my point of bringing this up. I think 7 is fine. I think that, from time to time, tight ends can have a great game. I think it becomes a problem when tight ends start getting 8 to 10 to 11 to 12 catches every single game. Like, that's an issue. I don't think that 7 was too high. And even if a tight end would have had 10 catches, I think where it comes in and it becomes where it feels a little bit different on the other side is when it's a playoff game. But outside of that, there was nothing through these playoffs that looked like a problem. But my question surrounds this is, was this playing in your mind as you moved into the Super Bowl, and did that hinder your offense as now Dalton went from being very effective to tossing 4 interceptions?
No, honestly, it really didn't, because I don't have, I don't target players. I don't target wide receivers. I don't target tight ends. I don't target running backs. If you look over my playoff stretch and even into the season, I like to have 2 or 3 catches from everybody. I like to have 2 catches from the backup running back. I like to have 2 catches from all 3 starting wide receivers. That's kind of how my game plan works. Because I feel like if I do it that way, you can't come into the game saying, I need to take away this one guy and I'm going to get the W. It just so happened that game against the Chiefs, Eifert caught the passes. The other guys dropped them. I had some pretty big plays for some big yards that my wide receivers just dropped. I hate that, they weren't able to catch them. I'd have loved to have big numbers from a wide receiver. But if you look at this championship game, it's, wide receiver Goodwin had 2, wide receiver Hawley had 2, backup running back had 2, Tyler Eifert had 2, other guys had catches too. It's just, that's my plan to spread the ball around. It's nothing more than that. It's just kind of what happened during the game.
I do target my receivers. I don't lie. I target the open ones unless I face Dwayne, then I target the guys in the opposite colored jersey. So I do target. The commissioner targets any guy that is open. Unless you're playing zone, then I usually target your guy and throw it right to him. So we are moving into season 71 with another back-to-back champion. Congrats, Dwayne. Another back-to-back champion here in the OMFL. You deserve it. Another great game, another great season for you. It's going to just be a whole lot of fun to see if somebody can finally knock off these Falcons. I know we got a lot of new blood that all came over together from another league who's itching and scratching to show how bad we suck and how great they are. So I know that there's going to be a lot of people aiming at you, but I believe in you, and I hope that I don't throw 65 picks to you again. So congratulations to our champion, Dwayne. Last question as we begin to wrap up this show. It's the dog days of summer, and it seems like some people haven't heard of that phrase, Dwayne. But the dog days of summer mean that a lot of our favorite sports have disappeared. I want to ask you guys, what do you do during the dog days of summer? What do you, what do you like to scratch that itch for sports whenever it gets to those deep, hot summer days? How do you keep yourself busy, Dwayne?
Well, like I said, after I got you to explain what that meant to me, I don't know. Like I said, it's that time of the year where everything's kind of died down. I'm a big baseball fan, a big Seattle Mariners fan. Even though we haven't been good for years, I still love to watch them all year long. Especially like I said, that time of the year, there's nothing going on. And I guess other than that, there's always soccer on. I can always find soccer. Love watching soccer. I guess myself, I play softball a little bit. I find stuff to do. I'm always sports. 365 days a year, I'm playing something or watching something. And like I said, that time of the year, I like to watch the Mariners play. It's just baseball's just ramping up, just starting to get exciting. And yeah, I guess that's the gist of what I would guess you'd say the dogs of summer.
Huday, how do you keep yourself busy during the summer?
For me, it's all about the NFL draft, going towards late spring, and then around here in Cat Country we have the UK and the March tournament. That gives us a lot of stuff to look forward to going into spring and during summer. I mean, it's be Madden this year. I hope we can keep going and going strong. I mean, I'm down to do it as long as we have other guys wanting to. This is all kind of uncharted for me. Most of the time, I'm in the past, throughout my life when I'm healthy, I'm out running around. I'm shooting hoops, I'm doing this, doing that, going here, going there. And so I'm going to need you guys to stick around through the summer and give old Houday something to do on some Madden.
Yeah, well, hopefully we can get back to a day where you're running around shooting hoops and continue to play Madden with us. We are a year-round league, and we are hoping that everybody else sticks around. If people do leave during the summer, we cannot guarantee that we'll hold you a spot. We are looking for guys that will commit to playing year-round, even if we got to pump the brakes a little bit during the summer. So I am a baseball guy. I'm looking forward to watching the Houston Astros. It should be a whole lot of fun this year. We've really built a fun team. And I'm really itching for MLB The Show. I doubt that I'm going to get it. But man, that game is beautiful, and it is a whole lot of fun to play. So as we put a little bow tie on this show, I just want to open it up. Any closing thoughts, closing remarks, and end with this thought. What is your favorite thing that you're looking forward to during the off-season number 71 for us? Houday, what do you think you're looking forward to the most?
I mean, I build through the draft, so I'm always excited about the draft. But I think there's going to be some real studs in free agency this year. I think there's going to be a lot of surprises. Not going to give anything away, but you're going to see some 90, 92, 93 overall guys getting released into free agency to put some teams in a better cap position. So I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah, he hit it right on right there. The free agent market is going to be crazy this year. I think we've seen a lot more, I guess, a lot more big names, even if they are, some of them are a little bit older, immediate impacts for teams. I think you're going to see a lot of teams that are going to fill a lot of holes through free agency. And I'm one, I can't really say, I wish I could claim that I was a GM that built my team through the draft. That's not always the case with me at all. But I'm looking forward to the free agent. I finally have some money to spend around, and hopefully my heart doesn't get ripped out this offseason like it was last season. But with that being said, my running back still outran Freeman, even if he was on a computer team.
Shots fired.
But I am excited for it. I finally have some money to throw around. On a sad note, though, Ryan might be on his last leg as the Falcons quarterback unless we can negotiate a smaller contract. But I'm hoping we can work something out and he can be try to go for a three-peat with Coach Scott.
Yeah, the free agent market should be a lot of fun, but it is always all about the draft for me. I love doing the draft shows. It does take me away from being able to concentrate on my draft, so I got to do a lot of homework before it starts. But I love doing the draft shows. It's just fun to have all the guys on at night and talk about their drafts and really look. It's a lot of fun, so I'm looking forward to the draft. So that is it for Press Pass Live for Season 70. It is all over. Every Press Pass Live from now on is going to be about Season 71. The awards show is out there. Make sure you go to our YouTube channel, or you can go to the Daddy Leagues channel and see all of the things that are on our channel right there and view those. Make sure you check those out. The incentive awards have been put out. The draft calculator is getting some tweaks, okay? We weren't quite ready for trades, even though we did have a trade posted. Do not post trades just yet. So we're still tweaking and messing with that calculator. So trades will open up after we advance. Advance hopefully is tonight. We may have to protect the Steelers players. He is moving and been moving for a couple of days, and no one has spoken to him, and so he may lose some players. So we're going to have to help him out. But it's going to be a whole lot of fun. Thank you, Hude. Thank you, D-Wayne. Congratulations to both of you for a great, epic playoff run. Congratulations to our two-time champion, D-Wayne. Thank you guys for taking time on your, I don't even know what day it is. I've been Mardi Gras way too hard on your Monday afternoon. I'm in vacation mode for a couple more days, and I plan on enjoying it. So thank you both for being on the show today. Thank you to everybody that listened in. Make sure that you stay on top of your team and communicate with us. Have a great, great offseason. We will see you after free agency. After free agency, we'll hop on. We'll do a quick show, talk about free agency, talk about where players went, and even take a quick look at the draft. And before you know it, we'll be back again, all three of us together, talking about week 1 in the OMFL for season 71. Thank you again to everyone here in the OMFL board. We will see you guys around. Deuces.
Have a good one, guys.